じゃあ、天野さん、あと、
Okay. 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 Yeah.
い
Yeah,
や
Sensei. Yes.
いやいや。ちょっとまだあれがありますが、now, how about COVID in Malaysia? ちょっと please explain.
COVID in Malaysia, actually,
あ、
Malaysian.
COVID ってCOVID ってなかなか日本人言わないんだけど、
COVID,
コロナね。
coronavirus, ne?
コロナバイラス。だけど、
Malaysia is number one of the 10 top countries to control COVID. They did very, very good job.
really?
Yeah, and not too much. The percentage of death is less than 1%. And also, every day they give information in TV, in FM, in everywhere, so that people are aware. So in Malaysia, in terms of I will talk about this. This is one of SDGs.
SDG. Oh, it's
So I will
good.
talk about this also.
Okay. Thank you.
I will give them information.
Finally, Amazon, you got a vaccine?
Yeah, I got 2 times Pfizer, two times vaccination.
Pfizer.
Yeah, and then they called me last week to go for the third, but I was busy. I couldn't go. But now number 3 already on the way. Most of people,
third time.
yes, it's called poster.
Really?
Already done.
Oh.
And they're calling everyone to come by telephone. They have very special care on this COVID, especially. They have very special care. They want to make sure that all people got vaccinated. All people have no problem with and if there is any serious case, there is emergency call. They will come and take you and make analysis. They are doing very hard job with that one.
Really?
Yeah.
But now, okay. You explain. じゃあもう、じゃあ OK。もう、just final question. In the COVID, you guess how in the future, how about COVID?
This is sincere. I am thinking that if we don't care about the environment, maybe after 10 years also we will get the same, because actually this kind of problems like malaria and then SARS and then bird flu, all this coming from damage of the environment. So SDGs we talked today about is how to make sustainable development. If you don't make this sustainable development, every 10, every 20 years, we will get the same problem.
Okay, じゃあもうDr. Amado, please let's go to your lecture. Please share the PowerPoint.
Okay, I will share screen. All right. You can see all?
Okay, but not presentation.
Full screen like this?
Full screen. Okay. Now full screen.
Okay. All right.
Thank you for your Dr. Ahmad. Please let's go to your good good presentation. Ahmad-san, please.
Okay. First of all, honorable audience, ladies and gentlemen, Gaksitachi, Sensitachi, good morning, everyone. Today, my talk will be about environmental technology for sustainable development goals, or it's called SDGs. They call it SDGs. I am Ahmad, as Prof. Kaniko mentioned earlier, that I am graduated from Prof. Kaniko Laboratory, Bulshi Sozai, and now I am senior lecturer in Faculty of Engineering Technology in University College Tati, Malaysia. Before we start, we need to know what is the Sustainable Development Goals. What is about? Actually, SEJICA, politicians for all United Nations people or members countries, in 2015, they gathered and then they decided how to make a plan to make this universe very, or this earth clean, and to remove poverty, and to ensure that all people enjoy peace and prosperity by 2013. 2013. So they take 15 years to make specific certain goals, and they are working on that to achieve that goals by 2030, meaning that we have still from now around 8 years or 9 years. So what are those goals? They make 17 goals. So very ideal and very honorable and very good goals actually, but it could be achieved or not, that is another story. So they start with no poverty. That is all of us. We believe that poverty is, you know, not good for human. So all people should fight to make no poverty. Second is zero hunger, because in some countries, too much food. In other countries, there is no food. So there is a gap between people there and here. Or so how to make zero hunger. Another thing is good health. That is also very noble goal. So health for everyone. Quality of education. So education also, if you don't have good education, quality of education, then you cannot achieve all those goals, difficult to achieve. Okay. And then go to gender equality, meaning that male and female should be equal in terms of like job opportunity, like so you don't have discrimination, not allowed, must be equal. Number 6 is clean water and sanitation. That is also very enjoyable and very important for everyone, because in some countries there is no water to drink, but in other countries there are plenty of water. Like in Malaysia, we have too much water. 7 is affordable and clean energy. That is also a very good noble or very good goal, so that all have energy. Decent work and economic growth for each country. Number 9 is industry, innovation, and infrastructure should be developed for everyone. Reduce inequality. This is sometimes confusing with gender equality. Reduce inequality, it means to reduce the gap between rich people and poor people. So how to make the middle class the dominant, so that all society will enjoy the, you know, prosperous life. If all rich, or many people rich and many people very poor, in some countries there is example like that. So that is not very good indication about the sustainability or okay. And then sustainable cities and communities, and then responsible consumption and production. And number 13 is climate change or climate action. This they said that they will reduce carbon dioxide emission and to reduce global warming. And then life below water and life on land. This is connected to each other, because waste or pollution coming from the land will go to the underground or underground, maybe underground water, and then finally go to the seas and rivers. And then number 16 is peace, justice, and strong institutions. This should be like politician to fight corruption, to rich country help poor country, how to make transparency, how to transfer technology so that all enjoy. And then this is also partnership. So a summation or summary of the 16 goals will be how to say, demonstrated by number 17. If there is good collaboration in all, then finally 17 will be achieved. Here there is very good draw about this 17 is how to divide which one is biosphere, which one is society, which one is economy. So here for biosphere, we have 4 main goals, as you see here. This is about environment, life on land, life below water. So this is about contamination, how to control contamination. Clean water and sanitation, this is also about biosphere. And climate action, this is how to reduce carbon dioxide emission and other greenhouse gases. If you go to society, there are 8 goals: no poverty, and then peace, and then sustainable cities, and then energy, affordable energy for all, and then this is gender equality, and then good health, good education, and then food for everyone, or zero hunger. So there are 8 this connected to the society. There are 4 more about economy, how to develop the economy in each country. We'll talk that what is problem in economy. It's developed, and you know, the income became high, but what is the effect on the environment? So this we talk later about this. So for economy, we have decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, reduce inequality, as I said, that reduce the gap between poor and rich people. And then we go to responsible consumption and production. That is also, as I mentioned earlier, there are some people using more than what they need, and some people they are starving. So how to make this gap is how to minimize this gap. How those goals achieved in Malaysia and the progress in Malaysia. First of all, I want to introduce you something about where is University College Tati, where I am now. This is here, this is Terengganu, this is Kelantan, here is Thailand, here is Singapore, this is West Malaysia, this is East Malaysia, this is Sarawak, Sabah and Sarawak. Okay, here is Indonesia, and okay. So Kuala Lumpur will be here. In this location, Terengganu, Kemaman, this is University College Tati. I think Prof. Kaneko, Prof. Kubo, other Prof from Mie University, and many students visited University College Tati many times. For English, inshallah, after COVID, the COVID, when coronavirus finished, that time you can also, master course can visit Tati. Okay, Malaysia National Key Achievement and Progress. We go to no poverty. Is it really in Malaysia achieved or no? As you see here, the incidence of absolute poverty reduced from 7.6% to 5.6, 2019. And this, because of COVID, became a little bit higher now because of, you know, many people lost their job, but there is no poverty actually, because government support, and also in Malaysia is somehow the dominant are Muslim community. So if there is anyone need like food, like, so his neighbor, if he's rich, he has extra, he will give. So there is like social responsibilities. So in general, I think there is no poverty, or it is 5.6%. And hopefully by 2030 will be 0. In terms of zero hunger, Malaysia has enhanced its food production. Most of food coming like rice, like fruits, like many coming from outside, but they are focusing to be self-sufficient for 10 major agri-food commodities. It is improving, but still not enough. Okay, so they are now working on that to get self-sufficiency level of 10 major agri-food. In some other like vegetable oil, they are exporting too much in Malaysia, so they give to the other countries export. What about health, or good health and well-being? I think in Malaysia, we are not in city, in somehow rural area. In close from me, there is clinic, there is governmental, it's free. And also for COVID, as I mentioned earlier, Malaysia is number 1 of the 10 countries. One of them is Malaysia, the best to control COVID or coronavirus in the world. So they are doing very, very, very good job. Okay, here why it is, you know, we talk about environment, Prof. Kaniko, his lecture about how treatment method and this by, you know, radioactivity or by photosynthesis or whatever. Why we are trying to treat or to focus on treatment, how to make clean environment? Because when we damage the environment, those kind of problems will come. Okay, for example, you're cutting a tree and then climate change, antimicrobial resistance, you are using all medicine and then became useless. Deforestation, you cut all trees to make paper or whatever, or for maybe for cooking in some countries. And then intensified agriculture and livestock. You want too much production, but the capacity of the earth is not there. So all these factors will become, you know, for us as human problems, starting with malaria a long time ago. And now we are in coronavirus here in this area. So there are many stages. And I expect that if there is no care about the environment in the future, also new problem will come. So hopefully this SDGs will help to maintain sustainable development and clean environment so that we will not face any troubles in the future. Okay, we go to number 4, quality education. In Malaysia, you know, illiteracy is now 95, meaning that very good progress. It was 82 in 2019, 1991, and now 2019 became 95, meaning that growth or annual rate 2.32%. Hopefully 2030 will be zero people who cannot read and write, and illiteracy will be 100%. In Malaysia, for your information, we have here, or they have more than 70,000 lecturers in universities only. 17,000, and students of universities, we have around 1 million students. So, you know, this human resources, huge amount, 1 million, and they are very energetic, but not really utilized in a good way. So hopefully that government and decision makers will think about how to utilize those people, students who are young, they are able to work, to do many invention and innovation, to solve many problems, how to bring this to the, how to make linkage actually between industry and education. This still, you know, there is a gap between industry and education. So if we can combine both, then we will get the maximum benefit from this human resources. What about gender equality? In Malaysia, I think somehow in my area, university, I think ladies more than men. So, but in certain work, like when you go for construction, in that area, physically, ladies or women cannot work very hard work. So that jobs goes for men. So in general, I will show you when we talk about inequalities, I will see you the graph, how it looks between man and men, between man and woman. Okay, so in Malaysia, I think there is no differentiation. If for the job, priority usually given to the ladies. So they are very lucky, you know. What about sanitation and clean water? In Malaysia, it is 100% by Malaysian statistics. All people can get water or clean water, but not for drinking water. So if you go to Kuala Lumpur or to here, in rural area, I think they drink this water, but in urban area, there are many filter machine at houses. So they're using that filter machine. And for visitor, they use either called mineral water you have to buy for drinking, or drinking water also is available and very cheap. So, but water coming to every house for cleaning, for everything, for no house in Malaysia, there is no water. It is coming by government policy. all should have water, and very cheap. In my house, we are 5 people, 2 kids and 3 adults. I pay every month around 20 ringgit, around 5 to 6 US dollar, or 600 yen in yen. Rupiah yen. Very, very cheap every month. In Malaysia, in Japan also not very expensive. In 2020, see, this is the consumption liter per day. This 2020, 7.17 billion liters of metered water were consumed in Malaysia. This gradual increase because of, I think, population increase. So they provide services to reach every house, and this graph going up and up. This is not related with the industry. This is just for houses. What about affordable and clean energy? I see from this graph, electricity in every house in Malaysia since 2012, almost 100%. All houses have electricity. But is this electricity clean energy, clean electricity, or it is using fossil fuel and carbon and gas, or we call it hydrocarbons? So still using gas and coal as for power plant station, but there is now going for clean energy. So that 2030, they are target to get 20% of the country consumption or electricity coming from renewable energy. And you see here, 2019, you see about 8% or around 7 point something is coming from renewable energy. So this want to increase by 2030 to 20%. Is it possible? I think possible, because here you have in Malaysia, you have different resources, like you have sun day or sunny days all the year. So you have too much power from sun. So how to utilize, how to store this energy is now research going on that thing. And you see here different, like this is hydro coming from here, electricity coming from also biomass. Biomass meaning that the waste from agriculture burn and utilize as energy, especially in palm oil industry. They use the waste from palm industry for in the boiler to get the cooking oil. And then if you have small hydro, and then solar. For me here it's a little bit strange, because 2019 solar energy is not too much, but the growth, it means that annual growth here, annual growth is here 69. So research going on this and make it more and more, so that I think the main renewable energy will come from solar in Malaysia. What about decent work and economic growth? As I mentioned earlier, Malaysia during 70s and 80s, during the 90s also, there is economic development, and the income was 374 US dollar. This is in 1970, and now 2020 became 10,000. 1118 US dollar is about Hiakumangurai. So there is a big, development in the income. There is, but is it sustainable economy or no? That is a very big question mark. Sustainable means that development will be slow, but take care of the environment. Like I see here in this graph here. See, this one make damage. This is the capacity of the air. So development is very fast and going up. So meaning that here there is no care about the environment. You are thinking about okane, about money. But what about the environment? That is not your care. I think in China also they have the same here, like this one. So this graph, this I take it from Prof. Datuk Mazlin bin Mukhtar. He had lecture about this, and I think it's very, very nice lecture that education, this is what I am saying, education and business should join hand together to solve those kind of problems, especially pollution problems. Sustainable growth will be, take care of the earth capacity, and development will be somehow slow, but the care of the environment will be there. So they spend too much money for treatment of waste, for development new energy or renewable energy. So this will be sustainable. This one will be damage the environment. Okay. So this is why I am talking about, we have 1 million students, university students in Malaysia, and we have too much factories, too much waste we have. So still we cannot solve the problem. So if we join this together, we make it, join our hands together, we can make certain development to solve this problem, or to achieve something called industrial ecology. What we mean by industrial ecology, it is like this: efficient use of resources, extending the life of product, pollution prevention, recycling and reuse, eco-industrial parks. So this is development or industry will be there. People will get benefit from that. At the same time, our land, our rivers, our sea will be renewable, will be sustainable development. Number 10, reduce inequalities. Inequalities means not discrimination. It is mean that the income, the low income and the high income. For example, here the manager will get the high income, and here elementary occupation will get the minimum. So here's the average. This is pink is for ladies, for female, and blue is for male. As you see here, even though it is, there is difference, but not a very big difference. I think this is because some ladies, they can't go out station work, for example, so their income will be lower than men, because man can go anywhere. So this is, but you see here, this is the high income is 20% and low income is 27%, altogether 50. And here you see the dominant, this is the general, the average is about 28.5 or around 30. It is the middle class. So middle class will be in this area. You see, somehow the graph is very satisfied, very, very good graph, meaning that there is no big gap between poor and rich. Dominant will be the middle class. Okay, this is 2018, but 2019 and 20, no big change, because 2019 or end of 2019, coronavirus came, and all economy or activity stopped, because they make something called MCO, movement control order. So no job, all must stay at home, just eat and watch TV and don't do anything. So that I think the graph now will not be very far from this one. What about sustainable cities and communities? Malaysia, or this is SDGs, goal is to put 60% of people by 2015, okay, or 60 by 2050, 66% of people live in cities. Why in cities? Because every facilities is there, and work will be there, transportation. So I think this is not. If you left the rural area, who will make the land? Who will be the farmers? Who will be? So you bring all to be industrial. What about the others? Responsible consumption and production. That is, here I am talking about the gap, missing gap in Malaysia between the industry and the education. So how to produce in responsible way, and how to consume in responsible way, so that there is no waste, or this calling about how to achieve zero emission. This I will talk about this topic in my research, how we utilize food waste for treating heavy metals and different other environmental issues. Okay. This climate change, I think climate action, Malaysia, they don't have too much, you know, in industry compared to Japan, compared to China, compared to America, to Europe. Malaysia is still not that. But there is policy to reduce carbon dioxide emission and greenhouse gases by developing and supporting through research and development renewable energy. Especially solar energy in Malaysia is very, you know, very fertile source of energy. About life below water and life on land, you see here, I will start with 15 because pollution, contamination in the land during rain or during runoff or from underground will go finally to the sea and to the river. So contamination here will go to the sea and the river, and this affects the ecosystem in the ocean. So how to treat before disposal of contaminants with the proper and correct method to go to the river and to the ocean. Because here contamination will affect our health because this if there is heavy metal, if there is whatever, it comes to our bodies, and finally we are suffering as human. Ecosystem also will be damaged. Nitrogen cycle, carbon cycle, all this in the ocean will be affected. Turbidity also, if there is high turbidity, also will make stress for the fish and make cause the death. So there are many problems related to the waste coming to the sea and to the river. 16, peaceful justice and strong institution. I think this is related to government policy. In some countries, maybe developed country want to help developing countries, but it goes through wrong channels, go to corrupt politicians, and money lost there. They cannot do anything. So if there is no transparency, there is no any, you know, cannot achieve too much on this. So transfer of technology in from developed country to developing country is very essential. However, transparency, clear laws, you know, should be there. Because in developing country, they claim that developed country take their resources, and developed country say that we are helping, but it goes to corrupt people. So how to make this, you know, issue solved? That is, I think this is, education is very important. So I think focusing on education will minimize the corruption, will, you know, create the competition between developed country and developing countries and start to develop from there. If there is no good education, whatever you do, nothing will be achieved, I think. This is number 17, the last. All the previous 16 goals, if you don't work in partnership, in groups, then you cannot achieve. So in Malaysia, what they do, every parliament member establish this SDGs group and start to, you know, educate, to alert people how to be good to the environment, how to develop your healthcare, how to get very good education, how to, you know, all this will be through this. In terms of contribution to the global, I think Malaysia, they established something called South-South cooperation through the Malaysian Technical Cooperation Program. And they say that supporting 144 developing countries through technical and capacity building initiatives. It looks like JICA in Japan. So I think a small scale, but they are trying to do something for the other developing countries. Okay, I think this is all for you know, SDGs. But here in Malaysia, 2020, I took this from Prof. Datuk Mazlan bin Mokhtar, and I found this one you see here. How achievement of each goal in Malaysia. So green meaning that growing up. If we talk about no poverty, it is growing. It's very good achievement. But number 2, which is zero hunger, and number 4, which is quality education. If we go to also to number 15, climate action, it is stagnant. Stagnant means that there is no improvement, there is no also bad condition. It is somehow stable. But it's not the achievement is to go higher. Okay. So here, number 7, clean energy, affordable. Number 8, decent work, because this income of people became higher. Number 9, industry, all those going up. Okay. What is going down is number 17. This is his partnership. I think they need to work more hard. They start with the social, in the every zone, every parliament member will encourage that one. But if you see number 10 and 12, number 10, reduce inequalities. I think this is something wrong here, because we show in the graph that there is no big gap between, male and female, and also rich and poor people. So but this 112 is really, really, how to say, something need to be issued here. And I mentioned here how to connect the industry with education, make it more, stronger, so that we achieve all environmental issues. If we estimate how much nature or environment gives to human in terms of money every year, we find out this is by UNDP, United Nations Development Program. They estimate that it is $125 trillion per year. It's a huge amount, free of charge. This is given us, by we don't do anything, by environment or by nature or by Kamisama, by God. Okay. If we see here benefit from the sea only, you see many benefits coming. So if we keep this clean, then we will achieve sustainable development, and that will minimize this like coronavirus, sudden and very dangerous diseases. If we keep making is polluted and polluted, maybe within 5-10 years we will get another cycle of problems. So we have to spend little bit money for restoration of the environment. Okay. Is it possible to achieve SDGs, and what are the requirements? I think it is possible, but here is, education number 1. Politicians, if they have intention, for example, developed country, how they can help poor countries. Because if we focus only on developed country, meaning that rich will become more rich, poor stay poor, we will not solve the problem. We are not achieve SDGs. So, but also the problem is how to fight corruption in developing countries. That is also another issue. Is it possible through constitutional enabling policies and through also principles? We have to make long-term rather than short-term planning, holistic planning rather than silo, purpose rather than profit-driven. Here, this will not be satisfied about business. They don't like this one, because they think only about, most of the time, about money, about profits. But for them also, in long term, it is not good, because they achieve their goal, profits for certain time, and then became down. So the economy finally will not sustain. So our goal is how to make sustainable development. Even it is slow, but it is consistent. It means that will be for a long time. Investment rather than cost, stakeholders rather than the shareholders. The stakeholders, they have the decision to decide. Those just they share by their money, but they don't have any decision. So those people can decide. Collaborative, whole of nation approach, leave no one behind. Hopefully no one will be behind if we give very good education, all feel responsibility to achieve this SDGs, And then finally, transparency and accountability. Okay.
浜さん、more 5 or 10 minutes.
Oh, it's already, maybe cannot talk about my research. Okay,
Okay,
maybe
please. Okay,
okay,
now
this
start.
okay, this before MCO, meaning that COVID, they stopped everything. See here, the environment very dirty, very polluted. And after MCO, maybe 6 months, became very clean. So here you see, this is coronavirus, good, but for us, not really good. This about 12, how to make responsible production and consumption. I will give you one example about food waste management. Okay, we talk about banana peel. Here in Malaysia, 2020, there is 312,968 metric tons of, but edible only 63%, meaning that all this will be waste. All this trunk will be waste. So if you throw to the environment, it also make another problem. You need disposal area, you need land fill, you know. So how to utilize this to be used for treatment, another or for beneficial use? We take this one and we collect banana peels. This is one of the research, wash banana peels and then cut banana peels and then dry under sun for 3 days. And then make grinding and sieving, and finally we'll get this one. This we take to use in heavy metal removal. Okay, we study 3 parameters: absorbent dose. So here we focus about lead because this is also toxic element. In Malaysia is very abundantly available everywhere, you can find this. So here removal efficiency became with absorbent dose, we came 100% maybe with 1 gram. Okay, and then we take the contact time here, removal efficiency became maybe 20 minutes enough to get high efficiency. And then finally pH value, also no significant change with pH value, but we could remove lead from industrial waste by using this what's called it recycled waste or unedible waste. Okay, so this is the conclusion. Another way is paper sludge. In Malaysia, too much in Malaysia and Japan everywhere, because this is paper sludge. So this is, you know, became dumb like this. So if you don't utilize this one, it takes very big space. I will try to hurry up. And this we take semiconductors waste. I show you semiconductor waste, how it looks. I will skip this one. And by using paper sludge, this is in Japan. Okay, here. Why paper sludge? Because papers. Why silica? We treat silica because everywhere we find you know, motherboard in your PC, in your watch, in your house. Everywhere you find silicon motherboard. Okay, so from this industry, you see here, silica. Okay, this is the waste. This is from microelectronic waste. And this, if you keep it for a long time, will not precipitate. And if you throw it to the sea or to the river, make problems. Okay. So here, we use that paper sludge ash to remove this one. Machamana, how? We see you the results. So this is the paper sludge we use. We add some chemicals here. And then we mix only by mixing, or it's called coagulation and flocculation. We got very clean water. So this can be filtered and clean water can be disposed. This one not affect ecosystem. Okay. This is the mechanism. This is in real application, in real industry like this from the, because there are a huge amount of waste coming from microelectronic waste. And finally became like this after you take water from it. It's called dewatering. And this one pure silica. It is there are heavy metal in very small amounts, but this can be used in cement industry. So you see from the waste paper sludge, we could treat microelectronic waste. At the same time, the waste from microelectronic waste can be used in cement industry. So we are achieving something called zero emission. Nothing will be removed to the open environment, will be released to the open environment. All will be recycled. I think with this time already somehow there is one more example, another source like rice husk. Rice husk also, this one you see here in Japan, too much rice husk. This also became a waste. So how to utilize. One study in Prof. Kaneko, he used this one in Bangladesh. There is arsenic too much. Bangladesh, India, North India. So how to remove arsenic by this rice husk? And then they found out here removal 8594 arsenic. Okay. Another is about this is palm oil. Palm oil in the city. Also there is waste like this. So this also disposed in landfill, takes very big space. So here, this also can be used in, in aquaculture and also in pomade. This is palm oil waste. So if you treat this one, we make inorganic coagulant, and this can be used. This is palm oil waste coming, and then this is a filter press, and then finally this waste can be utilized again to the palm oil industry again. So here also we are trying to achieve zero emission. I think that is the end for. Very sorry, I spent too much with SDGs, and I didn't left too much time, or I don't have too much time to talk about research. But you know that the waste from any industry can be utilized in another industry, and we make a loop so that zero emission will be achieved, and sustainable development also will be achieved. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for Amr-san. And まあ、簡単、こういう時、なかなか、これセミナーですので、質問で何かあれば、ちょっと日本人の学生さんなかなか出にくいと思いますけど、何かあれば、もうちょっとミュート外して、質問どうぞ。
できれば、English で。
まあね、なかなか皆さん、こういうね、日本人のあれはちょっと変えていかなきゃいけないと思いますけど、じゃあちょっと、こちらが指名したで、ナジムさん。
Yes, yes, you can ask. できますよ。
ソニア。
May I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
Sorry for not opening my video, but I'm a first-year medical student at Mie University. What do you think we as healthcare people can do for these SDG goals?
Oh, I think you have very big job in this, because one of the SDGs is how to get medical care for everyone. No one left behind. This is the policy. So in many areas, I think like in in Japan, of course, the medical health care is very high level. But in other countries, you can think how you can help them in way or in another, because there are many war areas, there are many poor areas, and so how we can, for example, I will give you one example. In Malaysia, they are using the latest up-to-date technology. Am I right? So if you use instrument 5 years, then new version will come. So that one will be like dump, like a waste. Those kind of instrument for you, it is useless, but for other countries, it is very, very useful. So why not to make like NGOs, how to gather all those things and send to the needed countries? That will be one of the things can be achieved. Also in terms of medicine, sometimes expired date will be there. You cannot use after that. So before expired date comes, and then I think there is a huge amount of this like medicine
Yes, right.
go to the as a waste. Those kind of things for you it is useless, but for other countries it is really they will appreciate if you can help them with this thing.
Oh,
So,
I see.
yeah.
Oh, like exporting useless waste, but for can be used in other countries from
Yes,
Japan.
because in developed country they are looking for the up-to-date technology because they have the resources and they have the knowledge, they have the technology to make the new technology. But in other countries, even 10 years ago or 20 years ago, still they are using the old technology. For them it is very helpful.
Oh,
So if you can help them with that one, that will be also very good chance.
I see. Thank you for answering.
Yeah, very good question. Very good. Very sorry. Maybe this is the only thing I can think about it now.
Thank you for Dr. Ahmed. では、ここでセミナーは一応締めまして、それで、もし質問したいことがあれば残ってもらえれば、天野先生まだつなげてますので、残ってもらえれば個別に質問、できます。じゃあ、最後に皆さんちょっと天野先生にリアクションで拍手してあげてください。
There is Sonia. Sonia, there is one.
Sonia, please. じゃあちょっとじゃあソニアさん、OK, please. More one question.
ちょっとだけ先生ね。
OK.
I want to know students. I want to know
OK. Sonia, please, Sonia, please question. Make the question.
Okay, thank you. I'm Sonia. I'm a very short student. My question is how about palm oil waste in bioethanol production to support transportation sector in Malaysia?
Okay. Palm oil waste. You are talking about palm oil waste, huh?
Right.
Or palm oil crop?
Palm oil waste.
Palm oil waste, it cannot be used for transportation, but there is a study about palm oil itself as oil, how to mix it with methanol and to make biodiesel. So that will be used in transportation, but for the waste, only used in boiler in palm oil industry to cook the oil itself. But this produced too much emission of carbon dioxide and also greenhouse gases. So this is why we are talking about how to, instead of burning, how to utilize this in like pond, or aquacultural use or industrial use, something like that. My answer clear or no?
I mean, how about biobutanol? Palm oil was specifically cells in biobutanol production in Malaysia to support transportation sector.
To support?
Transportation sector.
As I told you, to my knowledge, not the waste. Palm oil itself, after became palm oil, they mix it with other like methanol and other, it's called esterification. And then it can produce something called biodiesel. Biodiesel can be used, but we did study, the cost is very high. If you have 1 liter, for example, 100 yen, the biodiesel will be 300 yen. So there is study, there is progress on that, but not really utilized. Because now the fossil fuel is much more cheaper than biodiesel.
It's okay?
Thank you.
Najim, Dr. Ahmed, Najim-san also, you are a student.
Hello, Sensei, can you hear me?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Professor Ahmed San. You also mentioned about rice husk. I am doing research and use materials rice husk with soil and cement. And my previous questionnaire or Sonia-san, she also asked about palm oil fuel ash. So as far as I know, palm oil fuel ash also used with cement in the soil for stabilization of soil, and that can be used for transportation like road construction or other things. And my question is here that in Malaysia, how you use the rice husk waste?
In Malaysia, also rice, rice production in Malaysia, not like Japan, is
Yes,
very
I know.
is minimum, and most of rice coming from Thailand and other countries and Pakistan.
Okay. Okay.
But as study, we have studied that it is very helpful to reduce contamination of heavy metals. However, in
Okay.
real application, belum lagi lah. As study, okay, but in real application, not really utilized.
Okay. But palm oil fuel ash is available in your country, hopefully.
Yeah, palm oil is, there are many studies, thousands of studies about palm oil, how to use it as cleaner, how to use it as fuel, how to use it different.
Yes, also it also used in soil stabilization. Yes, I saw some papers on it.
Because national income in Malaysia coming mainly from palm oil industry. So
Yes.
there are research about this.
Okay,
But
thank you very much.
In my area, I use it for pond treatment and for aquacultural industry.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay,
Thanks a lot.
thank you for Dr. Ahmad. Today you have a good presentation. じゃあ、再度皆さんで拍手をピピとして、終わりましょうか。学生さん、これで、終了いたしますが、テストに関しては、ムードルの、ムードルの方に上げておきますし、メールで連絡しますので、テストに関してはそちらの方を見てください。じゃあ、これで、講演会を終了します。学生さん、退席してください。
Okay, thank you very much all for listening, and hopefully we can meet in the soon future.
Thank you for your Ahmad.
Hi.
いや、あれ、ちょっと待ってください。久保先生。
Maybe Kuro Sensei today busy, maybe because.
久保先生、おかしいな。
Maybe cannot.
これレコーディングをちょっと終了して、ちょっと